Commanders fans? Just want to talk about free agent tight ends for the 2023 offseason. Some guys that I think we should go after. You know, Logan Thomas. I'm a fan of Logan Thomas, but after the injury, he just did not look the same this year. And Cole Turner, I'm a big fan of Cole Turner, but you know, he was inactive a lot of the games and he didn't look just ready yet. So I'm not giving up on him. I do like John Bates as well. I do like Armani Rogers too. I think he's a talented guy who's pretty athletic and can move, is very fast. But I just think we need more from that position, to be honest with you. And I think we do need to upgrade that position. There were times where Logan Thomas was getting beat against the Giants, holding penalties, and he dropped some passes here and there. Now, quarterback play didn't help him out either, but I do think we need to upgrade at the tight end position, whether it's through the draft or through free agency. But I'm going to give you guys my picks for the weekend for the NFC Championship game and the AFC Championship game. But before I do, shout out to Prize Picks. They're a fantasy app. If you haven't heard of them, they're a fantasy app. You just pick over-unders, more or less. Super easy. Use my promo code RealEdOliver for first-time users. Use the link down below in the description. You download the app. Use my link. Use my promo code RealEdOliver. You sign up. Super easy. Right over rushing yards or over-under rushing yards or over-under passing yards. You can do basketball, football, any sport out there, soccer, golf, any sport you name it, you can do over-unders on their projections. So this week when I'm picking, and like I said, they do a deposit match, 100% deposit match if you sign up using my link and my promo code. This week, the ones that I like from the Chiefs game, I like Isaiah Pacheco. I have him going over 47.5 rushing yards. If you look at his previous games, he's gone over on that. He got 95 against Jacksonville, so he's hot. I'm riding with the hot hand. 95 rushing yards over the Jacksonville Jaguars, 64 rushing yards over the Las Vegas Raiders, and then 58 against Seattle and Houston. He had 86. He didn't hit against the Broncos, 31. I think they're resting their starters, if I'm not mistaken, against that game. I'm not sure why he didn't get over, but I got him going over against Cincinnati. Even though Cincinnati's run defense was good last week against the Bills, but it was snowy conditions as well. I got Hayden Hurst going over receiving yards, 32.5 receiving yards against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs gave up a good amount of passing yards last week to Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence was moving the ball through the air. So I got Hayden Hurst going over 32.5, and I got him getting like 50 yards. And you know, Joe Burrow has really been using him and targeting him. He got 59 against Buffalo and 45 against Baltimore, so I think he's going to smash the over on that one. Some other plays that I like Jalen Hurts going over with the pass attempts. I think he's going to have to throw the ball more against San Fran. San Fran, they're good at stopping the run, but they can be had in the passing game. Like CeeDee Lamb had a good amount of passing yards. And then when we played them, Taylor Heineke was throwing the ball downfield against San Fran. You know, throwing a couple passes to Jahan, Terry, Curtis caught a touchdown pass. So Jalen, he's going to have to throw the ball against San Fran if he wants to win this game. He's going to have to rely on his arm. I know they want to establish a run game with Philly, but he's going to have to throw the ball downfield if they want to win this game. Brock Purdy, 215 passing yards. The Eagles. I just think he's going to have to throw the ball to win this game too. I think they're going to, both teams, of course, you want to play smash mouth football and run the football, but they're going to have both these quarterbacks, they're going to have to show up in this game. They're going to have to show up in this game. So that's what I got. Devontae Smith is another play that I like too, over 5 receptions. Devontae Smith, man, he's just been good the past couple games. So I'm just riding the hot hand with Devontae Smith as well with receptions. So those are my picks. You can tail those picks. Let me know if you hit. And then I'm happy to help you guys make some money there on Prize Picks for sure. So, all right, let's get to the tight end list here on my picks. I got the Eagles winning against the Niners, and I have the Bengals beating the Chiefs. Pat Mahomes with that ankle injury, and then Joe Burrow, he's just hot, man. That Bengals defense, they looked good against the Bills last week too. So I got the Bengals winning, man. Joe Burrow's been doing his thing, man. T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon, like they're playing good football right now. So I got the Bengals winning. I just think they're playing better football. I think they're the better team at the moment right now. Even with that offensive line for the Bengals, they've been doing just enough for Joe Burrow to get protection to get the ball out quick. So, all right, let's go to tight ends here. So obviously at the top of the list is Evan Ingram. I just don't think that's realistic. I'm going to go through who's realistic, who's not. Evan Ingram, I think he's going to cost too much money. Evan Ingram had a really good year this year. He had a good rookie season with the Giants, and then he kind of tailed off, had a lot of drops. Dropped a huge pass against the Eagles on Sunday Night Football where the Giants could have beat the Eagles like 2 years ago. He had butter hands like a snake. But this year, he looked really good. He did drop a big pass against the Chiefs that could have went for a first down. But he's not the reason why they lost against the Chiefs. He had a solid game against the Chiefs as well last week. But this year, he had 73 catches for 766 yards and 4 touchdowns. Evan Ingram was a beast, man. He bet on himself this year, took a 1-year deal. A lot of people were clowning the Jacksonville. That's my kids in the background if you hear them. A lot of people were clowning the Jaguars for making a lot of free agent deals with Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, Marvin Jones, and Evan Ingram, and signing a whole bunch of guys. But they did a good job, man. All their offensive signings, basically, Brandon Sheriff, big money as well. Basically, the majority of their offensive weapon signings, they hit, man. Evan Ingram was a big hit. He had a good quarterback in Trevor Lawrence, and I think he helped Trevor Lawrence get better. And I think he would definitely help out Sam Howell if we were able to attain him. Now, he had a 1-year deal for $9 million. His market value is probably going to be more than that because he had a really good year, man. I'm clicking on it right now on SpotRack, but the link's not working for some reason. But his market value, I would just guess, would probably be like 12 million or something like that. The next guy, or his market value, I'm sorry, is actually 8.8 on SpotRack. So I think he would probably get more than that. Like right now, Logan Thomas is making $8 million. And I think Evan Ingram is definitely going to make more than that, to be honest with you. So next on the list is Dalton Schultz. I think he's unrealistic. Actually, and he had a good year. He's a good tight end, but that playoff game was disturbing. The way he just like nonchalantly barely went out of bounds and didn't know the rules and wasn't moving forward. He cost his team the game. He had a drop in that San Fran game too. Now, Dalton Schultz, he is a good tight end. 57 catches for 577 yards this past season. He's a good tight end, man, and we need a receiving tight end. We need a move tight end. Like, I liked when we had Logan and Ricky Seals-Jones, man. Ricky Seals-Jones was a good backup, and I think Dalton Schultz is a good guy with good hands, a good route runner, touchdown machine. He had a couple touchdowns. He had two touchdowns against Tampa Bay. 5 touchdowns on the year, 1 fumble. So he was making $10 million this year. He's gonna make a good amount of money. 26 years old. I just don't think he's realistic at all. Robert Tonyan is another guy on the list for the Green Bay Packers. 470 yards this year. Receiving yards, 53 catches. I don't think he's really realistic. Kinda. I think Ron Rivera, he's not gonna spend big money on a tight end, but I do think he's a guy that you could try to go after. He's a good route runner. There's 1 year we had like 10 touchdowns with Aaron Rodgers. Solid blocker as well. I just don't think he's a guy that we're going to get. Austin Hooper is the next guy on my list. I do think he's actually realistic. And I remember Ron Rivera had interest in signing Austin Hooper when he left the Falcons. He actually ended up signing with the Browns, and then he went with the Titans. And now he's on the Titans. He was on the Titans this past year. He had 41 catches for 444 yards. Solid blocker as well, because you got to block for Derrick Henry. If you're going to play for the Titans, you got to be able to run block, and that's something that we struggle with at the tight end position is run blocking. Austin Hooper made $6 million this past season. That is somebody that I definitely would be intrigued in signing. I think that's realistic that Ron Rivera actually would take a look at Austin Hooper. Austin Hooper is 28 years old. Logan Thomas is 32 years old, so we would get younger at the tight end position as well. Jordan Akins is a guy that I like as well. He's a low-key, under-the-radar guy. He had 425 yards receiving with the Houston Texans, 33 catches. He made $1 million this past season. He's 30 years old. For maybe a one-year kind of deal, deal kind of signing for Jordan Akins. Foster Moreau is a guy that I like a lot for the Las Vegas Raiders. He's been overshadowed by Darren Waller as tight end number 2, but I think if he gets the opportunity to be a tight end number 1, which he could with the Washington Commanders, I think his numbers would go up. And he had 33 catches for 420 yards while Darren Waller missed a couple of games this season. Foster Moreau was making $752,000 this past season. I think we would have to break the bank for Foster Moreau. So Foster Moreau, Austin Hooper, Jordan Akins are guys that I want Ron Rivera to target. Hayden Hurst is a guy that's really at the top of my list. I don't think he's going to break the bank either. He had a good season this year, 52 catches for 414 yards. Solid blocker as well, was with the Ravens, was with the Falcons. I want to say he was a former first-round pick, man. He's got good hands. Like I said, I got him going over 32 receiving yards, and he's been solid in the playoffs as well. So I would like them to go after Hayden Hurst as well. He's 29 years old, so I would not mind that at all. Mike Gesicki is a big name with the Dolphins. He's going to break the bank, though. He made $10 million this past season, with the unseasoned, the gritty, the ugly gritty. Shout out to Rio. He always says unseasoned gritty, but 28 catches for 316 yards. Had an underwhelming season, but 5 touchdowns. I mean, he's a good target. Like his previous years, he got a lot of yards, and more catches. But I think he would help this team tremendously. I really do. But I just don't think that's realistic. Brock Wright from Detroit, 18 catches for 216 yards, exclusive rights free agent. I don't think they're going to go after him. He wouldn't be a bad pickup. I don't think the Lions will let him go. Irv Smith has had somewhat of a disappointing career so far. A lot of injuries, 8 games this year, 25 catches for 182 yards, $1 million this past year. I think you could take a flyer on him, but the injuries concern me. So quickly, I'm just going to rapid fire the next guys. McCole Pruitt from Atlanta, 16 catches for 150 yards. Wouldn't mind him. Josh Oliver, Eric Sabert. OJ Howard is a big name. Former first-round pick with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Had a solid rookie year, but he's just been very inconsistent. Has dropped a lot of passes as well. Just didn't work out with Tampa Bay. Bruce Arians called him out a couple of times. And he played with the Texans this past year on a one-year, $1 million deal. So you can get him for cheap, man, and just have him come in for a tryout. If he plays well, then so be it. He could be like your Ricky Seals-Jones, like I said before, as a pass-catching tight end. Another guy, low-key guy, is Dan Arnold. Played with the Jacksonville Jaguars, had 135 yards receiving this year. He did play with the Arizona Cardinals as well, so I wouldn't mind him as well. I think he would be a cheap option. Donald Parham, the former Commanders or former Washington tight end, restricted free agent. He's about 6'8", played with the Chargers as well. He's had a couple good seasons with the Chargers with Justin Herbert as his quarterback. I wouldn't mind him as well. And another guy I like is Ross Dwelley, who plays with San Francisco 49ers. He's been their tight end too. Made $1 million this past season, 12 catches for 101 yards. So those are some of the guys that I like. But I really like Hayden Hurst and I like Austin Hooper. Those are two guys that I really would like the Commanders to go after, where I think you wouldn't have to break the bank for those guys. So you guys let me know what you guys think. Do you want to keep Logan Thomas, or do you think it would be better to cut him? Do you think that Ron won't cut him at all? Who do you see the Commanders going after a tight end? Or if they want to draft a tight end, which tight ends do you see the Commanders targeting in the draft? All right, you guys. Hope you guys have a great weekend. I got the, like I said, I got the Eagles winning. I really hope the Eagles don't win the Super Bowl, but I got them beating the Niners, and I had the Bengals beating the Bills. So it's going to be a Bengals versus Eagles Super Bowl, in my opinion. We'll see how it goes. Hell to Commanders. Peace.